The District Director, Mrs. Sabina Ababoson, the District Chief Executive, Honorable Reverend Emmanuel Ransford Kwesi Nyako, our Board Chair, Mr. James Ebenezer Kobnadason, Nanano, staff of Mando Senior High Technical School, students, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasurable duty to welcome you all to Mando Senior High Technical School as we join thousands of people all over the country to plant a targeted 10 million tree seedlings today. Ladies and gentlemen, Mando Senior High Technical School has been privileged to participate in the Green Ghana Day project for the 3 consecutive years, starting from 2021-2022 to this particular year. We give credit to our board chair for this initiative and facilitation. Throughout this 3-year period, the school has planted about 9,710 tree seedlings of several species. There could not have been any better theme for this year's edition of Green Ghana Day project than our forest, our health. It is so because forests and trees have always contributed both directly and indirectly in human health, either through the release of oxygen and absorption of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, provision of medicines and food or services such as clean water, air, or shade. In Ghana, there are great economic benefits of medicinal plant use. It is estimated that 60 to 70% of the populace depend directly on medicinal plants from forest trees and primary health care by UNDP Ghana. The choice of this theme is a clear acknowledgement of the fact that our independence on forests, trees, and their related services goes beyond production and consumption of timber and non-timber forest products. It includes the very fact that our wellness as humans is directly linked to the continuous existence of forests and trees. According to UNPD Ghana report published in March 2023, the current annual deforestation and forest degradation rate in Ghana is equivalent to 135,000 hectares loss of forests covered every year. These losses, according to the report, are driven primarily by a number of factors such as agriculture expansion, illegal logging, unclear land and tree tenure arrangements, and illegal mining. It is therefore appropriate that Ghana has put in place an innovative program such as the Green Ghana Day to curtail deforestation and forest degradation. As we mark this year's Green Ghana Day, we wish to encourage all Ghanaians, especially our students, who are our future leaders, to acknowledge the fact that our forests and trees are not mere sources of wood, but also they are a source for the well-being of humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, the saying that when the last tree dies, the last man dies, is actually given credence by the choice of this theme, our forests, our health. We must therefore support this noble agenda of restoring our fast depleting forest cover through the Green Ghana Day project. All hands must be on deck to ensure the success and sustenance of this project to protect human life and Mother Ghana. Thank you.
Our students and the entire community here, ladies and gentlemen, and let me not forget our media men who are present with us today. It is very refreshing to always come home with a feeling that we are all contributing to give something back to society. As has been said earlier on by the headmistress, This is the third time that we are here planting. And this year, our theme, our forest and our health, this combination is inseparable. And I would want us to reflect on the theme as we plant today. I believe that one of the reasons why the target for the year is 10 million is to ensure that those seedlings that did not survive in the previous years, we will fill them in. And also those that survived, we'll make sure that they grow and become trees for our very survival. And so as we go planting, let us ensure that we are not just planting today, but we are planting and we will make sure that these seedlings survive. Fortunately, we are in the rainy season, and so we don't have to do so much. The least you can do is to go around every morning and say hello to what you have planted and water, and ensure that even when you have left here, you can come back to your school and visit what you planted, and I'm sure you'll be very proud of it. I have observed that everybody here supports this project. And so this thing that we've been doing, let's keep it up in the years ahead to ensure that our community, our campus is even greener than what we see here today. I pray that today's ceremony will be heard everywhere within our country, and that we will be a shining example for the entire nation. As young as we are planting, and even when we leave here, one of the things that we will leave and we'll take with us after school is the culture of planting trees. So even in our own homes, we'll have trees all over to ensure that we have a good forest, which will ensure that we live a healthy life. I thank you very much, and I wish you the very best of the day. Thank you. Set aside by the President of Ghana as Green Ghana Day, where we plant trees to ensure that we protect our environment for so many reasons. Today, this year, the theme is our forests and our health. You know that a lot of our medicines come from our forests, and also We believe that our forests serve as a cover for our water bodies, and also we can sit under the trees, have some shade protection from the sun. We think that with all the issues of galamsey, people going into forest reserves, cutting down our trees, if we don't replant, then we will lose our forest cover, and very soon our country will be experiencing what is experienced in other countries in the Sahel region. And we don't want to do that. We have been blessed with a lot of good rainfall. And so we, knowing that our students are future leaders, we decided that let's go to the schools and plant with the students. Young as they are, they will see the need to plant trees, and that we believe will not leave them even when they leave school. They will go out to society, wherever they find themselves, whether it's the workplace or their own homes. They can plant trees to protect, help contribute to protect our environment. So that is why we are here. And for this year, we are planting a minimum of 4,000 seedlings. We have coconut, we have mangoes, we have oil palm, we have teak, and other plants. We could have done more than the 4,000, but we believe that over the years, the last 2 times that we've had tree planting, some of them naturally did not survive. And so we are looking at the ones that did not survive. We will fill in, and then we will plant extra. And so hopefully next year, when we come, we will increase the number from this year's 4,000. But for now, we want to make sure that our trees that did not survive, the seedlings that did not survive, we will replant and make sure that they survive. And that's why we are here. We are grateful to the students. They've come out in their numbers and they are planting as they've always done. I believe that it is the responsibility of every citizen, young, old, traditional authorities, our chiefs, our youth, our religious bodies. All of us must come together to protect our environment, to protect our natural resources. It is not the responsibility of only the police. In this case, all of us are the police. All of us are the security agencies. Because the least that one can do, if you see somebody engaging in any of these illegal activities, is to report to the law enforcement agency. When you report, then they will take the necessary action. And then sometimes some people don't even know the damage that we are causing to our environment by engaging in these activities. So we believe that when we educate and we keep on educating our people, creating the awareness, it will go a long way to help minimize, if not eliminate, this problem that this country faces at the present time. Let's continue to educate our people. Let's continue to encourage people to engage in alternative livelihoods rather than doing cutting down our forests, doing galamsey, and all of those things that do not help our environment. Not only for today, future generations will suffer if we don't do things like planting trees and refraining from doing illegal mining or illegal cutting down of our forests and all of those things that do not help.
My name is Rosalind Ayokosowa, the headmistress of Mando Senior High Technical School. And I've been the headmistress of Asin Sita Agric in the Asin South District. Someone planted teak at that school, and when I went there, I needed furniture. So I had to harvest what someone had planted. And so it motivated me that I should go into teak farming in any school that I find myself. Because that thing really supported the school. And so I had my motivation from there. And when my board chairman mentioned it, I embraced it. Because it's of good use and of enormous benefit. Yeah, I've realized I have achieved my dream. And my prayer is that whoever comes after me, because definitely these trees will mature later in life. Whoever comes after me and the successive ones will all take good care of the plants because it will benefit the school and the society at large. I'm so much interested in teak because it's a very good wood. And when it matures, it's very good. So I'm mostly interested in teak, mahogany, and then some cash crops. So this year we introduced cash crops that if we cultivate these cash crops, we could earn something from it, apart from supplementing the food in the dining hall for students. We could sell to earn some money for the school. So we've introduced mango this year, coconut this year, and oil palm, in addition to the trees. For my students, one student, two plants, and they're going to nurture it. I'm going to ensure that maybe weekly we would have some hiking exercise on Fridays or Saturday morning. We come to visit and say hello to our plants and ensure that this dream comes to fruition. I encourage all heads and all students to embrace this campaign because at the end of the day, as the last tree dies, the last man dies. That not only that, but we would have other benefits. The school could have it as IGF. The students could enjoy the fruits of their labor. And we would not only have to depend on the government for everything, but if we are able to sustain ourselves, it will help the school very well. To the district and to the government, I will say that the government should not relent. This program should be enhanced and then maintained yearly, even on a very large scale, but at least for schools, every school should be encouraged to plant trees and so that it will elevate some of our furniture issues in the school and then the community too. Thank you.
Beyond they just being the hosts, they've also shown that commitment and that leadership to ensure the success of this. 3 years ago, what they planted have begun fruiting. And for the headmistress to move beyond the acacias, the mahoganies, the ticks, to cash crops like mangoes, like coconuts, like palm oil, tells you how beneficial this project will be, not just in the short term, but in the long term. I was mentioning that since we started, we've done almost about 50 to 60,000 seedlings. And our concentration was mostly or largely in the schools because we decided that we want that sense of ownership. So if I plant in a basic school, I can tax the headmaster to tax a student to take care of that seedling. And so most of the, I would say by and large, most of the seedlings that we received as a district and planted were not just planted but nurtured. And so our success rates should be beyond 80%. And I think that is very good. As I said, our concentration has been on the basic schools where we're trying to get trees to become like storm breaks so that in the times of storms, in the times of rains, we don't uproot trees and on roof our buildings. I've also mentioned during my speech that one school that decided to cut down the trees, we've seen the consequences after a rainstorm. So for us, we are not just planting, but dedication and sensitization for us to nurture and make sure that they become mature trees is something that's consistent, especially among the education institutions. And wherever we carry out that exercise, so every basic school, when we go in there, the next directive is that and these nurseries, we have received them freely, but it has come at a cost. So we can't just receive it and just plant it and leave it to the weather and eventually get it withered away. I mean, then it's just a fanfare. It's on purpose. And so we charge the schools and eventually the students a sense of responsibility, because if we charge the entire school, it becomes everybody's responsibility. And eventually everybody's responsibility becomes nobody's responsibility. And so then we have to charge the head to assign a specific person to that seed and make sure it is nurtured till it eventually matures. Well, I think the issue of galamsey is a bigger national problem or challenge. Let me put it that way. We're tackling it. However, you know that galamseyers will always find a smarter way to outwit whoever the security agencies are. I mean, it's a plea. It's a plea. You will destroy the vegetation cover. Eventually, the rippling effect on our river bodies, on our cash crops, cocoa trees are being uprooted for galamsey purposes, vegetations are being, scrapped off for galamsey purposes. Eventually, Maybe it's not going to happen in our time. What inheritance are we creating on our children and our children's children? So it's a play. I know, yes. This issue is broader than me speaking to it. I mean, the economic benefits and other stuff, but we asking for that responsible small scale mining just to make sure that our vegetation is covered. And then secondly, for those communities, I think the MMDCs will have to own it and make sure that they ensure that places that have been degraded are replanted. In my district, I don't have galamsey, but I also have challenges with sand winning. And so our task is that let's go back and replant all those places that has been degraded by through sand winning activities. And for us, it's not just a Green Ghana Day project. Last year, we took over 100,000 palm oil seedlings, and mostly we targeted those degraded lands. This year, by the help of Titi Farms and by the help of our sector minister and by the help of central government, we're still receiving seedlings, and we are targeting most of these areas. So yes, we give the farmers to plant the cash crops to empower them in the years to come, but we're also doing that with the degraded lands in the districts in mind. Yes, please to Nananum, but you know the challenge in our community is that land ownership is not just vested in the hands of the Nananum. Sometimes you have the clan heads, and others all owning the land. So beyond the Nananum, we appeal to every landowner that we will need to preserve our lands, whatever it takes. It is an inheritance for us. It's an investment for us. We degrade it at the detriment of future generations. We nurture it. We get it done properly to the benefit of future generations. So whatever we have to do in our power, in our time, we have to do to ensure that we protect our